Yo, what's going on, people? Guns blazing back at it again, and today I'm bringing you a level 40 Dark Zane farming deck. As always, we're going to try to make it cheap and consistent, and so this is using some new cards. We got the Silent Swordsman, level 3, as well as Silent Sword Slash, and once you have those, everything else in the deck is pretty much easily accessible. There are no pack ultra rares or super rares in this deck, so you don't have to worry about that. As you can see, I swapped out the Bola to show you that it can be easily replaced. Anyways, I'll explain how to use this deck as we show the replay, so let's get right into it. It's a pretty simple deck, really. All we're trying to do is get a Silent Swordsman level 3 onto the board, and that's why we have Restart, so we open with it. And then we just keep buffing it up with Silent Sword Slash, which we can use to stall the board and also use as our Union Attack finisher. Now, on my turn, I do pick up Silent Sword Slash, so I do have the combo available already. But I'm just going to play it safe for now with my Magnetic Mosquito. It's going to kill two machine-type monsters. The more Silent Sword Slashes you slap onto this boy, the safer you're going to be. So I'm just going to keep waiting it out. I am pretty safe behind my Crystal Seer and my back row. The AI is going to get a Cyber Dragon special summon as well as a normal summon off, but he's just going to use Cybernetic to fuse those two together. Flash Fusion, however, destroys the monster at the end of the turn. Shout out to this Bajo right here for subbing, even though I'm not streaming right now. Really appreciate it. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to let him attack into my Crystal Seer and flip it up for me. It can attack twice, but I do have that Curse of Anubis, and Flash Fusion destroys the Cyber Twin Dragon at the end of the turn. I go ahead and get my Silent Swordsman out and slap that Silent Sword Slash on him. And as soon as the Silent Sword Slash hits the grave, I banish it to add another Silent Swordsman to my hand. We don't really need a second copy, but it does allow us to thin our deck so that we draw into the other Silent Sword Slashes faster. And also it counteracts the fact that Zane Lvl does a lot of milling himself, so that he doesn't deck out before us. Rarely will I attack his monsters even if they're in defense position because of this continuous spell, which allows him to special summon more monsters from his deck if he destroys monsters by battle, and so we don't really want that, because again, he's going to deck out before us. At this point, we pretty much stabilize the board. After he gets one fusion off, it's very unlikely that he's going to get a second one off. It is possible though, but just in case he does, we do have back row to protect, as well as that Sphere of Bola in our hand. The more Silent Sword Slashes you have on this guy, the safer it's going to be, because he's going to have less options. The only thing that can really get over a fully buffed Silent Swordsman is a Power Bonded Twin Dragon or a Chimera Tech Over Dragon that's really huge, but even if he does have those, we can use our Sphere of Bola and our defensive back row to stall out. Secret Pass Union. You don't actually need anti-magic arrows here, but this was like the first duel I ever did with this deck, and I didn't really know that you don't need anti-magic arrows. Anyways, as you can see, you do need at least 800 glossy / prismatic points to hit a full 8,000 using this deck. I will be showing a variant that does get more points after this, but first let me show you a replay showing you more nuances of the deck using my most up-to-date list. So again, I did open up with my Silent Swordsman and my Silent Sword Slash again, but I chose not to get it out right away because it's only going to be 2,500, which if it gets destroyed, I'm pretty much screwed because I don't have any back row to protect it. So I'm just going to set my Crystal Seers for now and get them to draw me some more cards. There you go, there's a Windstorm in order to protect me. I am now going to go out with my Silent Swordsman, but I am going to set the Silent Sword Slash instead of playing it until he enters his battle phase, and the reason I want to do that is so that he can attack into my Crystal Seer and not get scared and go into defense mode right away. Another little thing I do is I keep this Acid Rain instead of using it right away because I don't really need to destroy these two monsters. They don't pose too much of a threat, and so I'm going to save my Acid Rain in case things go south. So this boy's going to keep summoning some more monsters, but it's not really a problem until he starts fusing stuff. And even if he does start fusing stuff, we do have that Windstorm ready, as well as the Acid Rain, and that's why I'm keeping it in my back pocket. So at this point, you just sit back, relax, set your Yadas, use the Silent Sword Slashes as you pick them up, and use the Silent Sword Slash in the grave to get another Silent Swordsman from your grave, thinning out your deck. Feel free to discard the extra Silent Swordsmen you pick up, but in the next deck I'm going to show you, you will have to keep one of the Silent Swordsmen. Just something to keep in mind for the next deck. Almost there, just keep discarding whatever is not a combo piece. Play my Windstorm just for the memes, and in this coming turn I pick up the final card I need, which is my last Silent Sword Slash. pop that Acid Rain for the glossy points, as well as extra points for destroying monsters. The final Silent Sword Slash is going to get me to 5,500, allowing 2 unions to boost up my Gravekeeper's Vassal to over 10,000. So once again, 800 glossy / prismatic points needed to hit the full 8,000. But now I'm going to show you a variant that runs a little fusion so that, you need less glossy and prismatic points to get the full 8,000. So in this one, we sacrifice a little consistency and safety to have some space for Elemental Hero Neos, Neos Knight, Apolly. And so it's pretty basic. The idea is that you keep an extra Silent Swordsman in your hand so that you can fuse it later with your Elemental Hero Neos. All in all, I wouldn't recommend this over the one that doesn't have a fusion, just because that one has a lot more safety and consistency. I don't think it's even worth it to get more points using this fusion variant if it's going to increase the chances of the brick, which is going to bring down your average farming points anyway. But maybe you do have a fetish for getting over 8,000 points and you cannot accept anything less than that, and so that's why I made this variant right here. Really good start from me. I get my Silent Sword Slashes right away, 2 of them, so that I can thin out the deck and then pull into my third one very shortly, making my Silent Swordsman already 5,500. Now the problem is that 5,500 isn't even enough to take on a power bonded Cyber Twin Dragon, as you can see here. But again, that's why we run the safety cards, so that if something like this does happen, we do have protection for it. So I'm going to pop that Curse of Anubis, and I will be able to attack into the Cyber Twin Dragon. Thankfully, Power Bond doesn't make him kill himself. He's going to use his Cyber Repair Plants to pick up some more Cyber Dragons. Man, I can't wait for them to actually give us the Cyber Dragons themselves. Anyways, this guy managed to Cybernetic Fusion support into a, Chimera Tech Overdragon. But thankfully, he only has 5 monsters to fuse it with, and so it only ends up being 4,000. Meaning we can't attack into it. I do have an awkward Crystal Seer on the board, just chilling there when we do need the full slots to be able to summon our fusion monster. And so what I'm going to try to do is flip him face up and try to bait the AI into attacking it. Turns out it doesn't really happen. He keeps his monsters in defense mode, even though I switched my Silent Swordsman into defense mode. So I'm just going to set another one and then plan to tribute both of these Crystal Seers after I flip this one up. And this actually gives me more points from tribute summoning. So there you go. There's that Elemental Hero Neos. I do feel pretty confident letting him loose on the board because I do have Spherabola in the hand. There are 2 copies of Acid Rain in this video. I just replaced the second one with a 3rd Crystal Seer. Anyways, final turn coming up right here. As you can see, I did save an extra Silent Swordsman, and so that way I can fuse the one in my hand instead of the one on the field with the Elemental Hero Neos to get that Neos Knight out. And then I can summon my Gravekeeper's Vassal, Secret Pass, Double Union, attack for game. No need for anti-magic arrows, as far as I know. And so as you can see, this one does get 8,000 points, even without the Prismatic and Glossy. But this does include the fact that I did do 1 Tribute Summon. So again, if I could recommend between the Fusion variant and the normal one, I would just recommend the normal one without the Fusion because it does have more consistency. You do have a better chance to draw into the cards you need, as well as protection, in case Dark Zane does summon one of his dank beasts. But now the real question is, am I going to find a way to stretch this video to 10 minutes just to get an extra ad in there? And the answer is yes, but at least I'm being honest with you. So here's some extra footage of me just, clicking around, getting some keys, doing my daily fountain clicking to keep myself free to play. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Duel Links content as well as farm guides. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day, have yourselves a good one, and this is Guns Blazing, selling out.
Pocky. Pico. Poco.